So folks, I'm going to tell you about this head torch. I've been using this now for about 2 months, and it was sent to me by the manufacturers over at Fenix. They make high quality illumination tools, and that's what I'm going to describe this as. It's one of their top of the range head torches. It's very good bit of kit. It's not cheap, I'm going to say that from the start, but I have to say I've used various head torches over the years, different quality ones, and this is probably it's certainly the most high quality head torch I've ever used. So I'll just tell you what I think about it. I'll overlay some clips of me using it on previous wild camps. I wanted to use it first, get to grips with it, and then, you know, be in a position to give my honest verdict on it. So it's the Fenix HM65R, and it's got a magnesium alloy body. The whole thing is made out of magnesium alloy, so it's very durable, it's very lightweight, and that also aids in heat dissipation. Why it needs to do that is because it can churn out a massive 1400 lumens. It has a spot beam with a maximum of 1000 lumens. It also has a flood beam which goes up to 400 lumens. The flood is the bigger lens on the left, and the spot is on the right hand side. I'll demonstrate that when it gets dark, but basically this thing is an absolute beast. It's got a bit of a heat warning sign just below the operation switches here. It's completely waterproof, it's completely submersible, up to 2 meters for 30 minutes, and that is submersible, so if you're using it all day or for 3 days in the rain, typical British weather, it'll be absolutely fine. It's completely rechargeable. It uses a 3500 milliamp hour rechargeable LiPo battery, and there's a charging port just on the back. Very handy, like most things nowadays. It just utilises USB-C, so all you need to do is just pull that bit of a plug out. There's a USB-C switch in there, and it charges up nice and sturdy. So the headband is elastic material, and it's got these holes stamped in it just to make it breathable. It's got all these reflective strips, Fenix writing in the dark that shines up. Make sure you're visible if you want to be. So it's nice and breathable. It's got lots of adjustability. You can adjust this top strap, making that obviously shorter or longer by adjusting these buckles. Likewise on the buckle on the strap that goes around the circumference of your head. Now hopefully you can make it out on this camera. It's got this silicone band that goes around the front of the head torch. Now you can move that along the band as you see fit. Well, this is basically a sweat strip, and it stops sweat from, when you're sweating, you're exerting yourself, you're working hard, running down into your eyes basically. So that's a good bit of kit that goes all the way around the front of your head, and it just stops sweat getting into your eyes. So that's well thought out, and it actually works. In terms of operation, really simple. You've got it's in lockout mode at the moment, so it's not going to turn on. Yeah, it's got a lockout mode like most head torches. It just stops it from getting inadvertently operated whilst in your bag. It's nothing worse than getting on site and, you know, you've depleted your battery because you've left it on high, for example, for hours. So you just hold both of these buttons down for about 4 seconds, and you've got a little power indicator. Now you can operate the beams, flood and spot, independently, or you can have them both on at the same time. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 brightness settings in flood, and it's just a single click. Now clearly you're not going to be able to appreciate how bright this thing actually goes because we're in the middle of the day, but when it gets dark I will show you. In terms of the spot, again, just press and hold to turn it on. You get the 4 LEDs on the top that give you a quick sort of indication of how much battery charge is left. We've saw 4 lights there. It tells us it's a freshly charged battery. You get 3 power levels with the spot. 1, 2, 3. That is extremely bright. You know, I'm looking at that and I'm losing my vision. Press and hold to turn it off. You can have both on. It remembers what you had on the last time, so you can turn both on, and you can operate the brightness levels independently of each other. You just choose, and that is maximum of 1400 lumens. You can't appreciate it yet. Just lower both down, turn it off, press and hold, and I'm going to lock it out, just press and hold both together. It's going to flash, and it tells me it's in lockout mode. If I try and turn it on now, all it's going to do is flash 4 times. So we're going to look at this. You're just going to appreciate the brightness when it gets dark. So in terms of adjustability, it's got this, feels like a bit of a ratchet system. It can go from being near enough vertical as the torch is mounted on the bracket on the front of the head torch. You can hear it clicks out almost 90 degrees. It points flat down towards your feet. So it's got a whole range of motion in a 90-degree arc. So if you're doing work, you just want to illuminate your feet, well, you can just do that. But it's nice and sturdy. If you're running or you're on difficult undulating terrain, it's nice and firm. It's not going to drop down under its own weight or anything like that. This ratchet system just works. It's got one opening end, which obviously contains the battery, and it's obviously the end that says open on it. Just turn it counterclockwise. Your rechargeable battery is safe in there. It's got rubberized seals on it. Like I say, it's submersible for up to 2 meters for half an hour. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you know, it just gives you that assurance as to how waterproof this thing actually is. So just in terms of battery life, what I can tell you is this thing lasts a long time. You're going to get a lot of use depending on if you're using it at the higher power levels between charges. But for example, on the floodlight, the lowest setting, which is this one, the first one is 8 lumens. That will last for 12.5 days on that setting. I think that is absolutely outstanding. 12.5 days. You can read with the light of that. You can tie your laces. On dark nights you can easily sort of find your way around. That's absolutely superb. 12.5 days. It just shows you how efficient this thing is and how well it regulates its own power output. That is superb. So it's a cracking bit of kit. It's the Fenix HM65R. It's the best head torch I own. It is the best performing head torch I own. It's absolutely superb. I just take this with me now when I camp. I have previously been using ones by Olight. They're okay, but the battery life was pretty dismal on it. It was getting worse, the amount of charging times I've had with it. But this, absolutely superb. On all my camps now I just use this. It's that good, it's that bright, it's that rugged. I just take this. It's absolutely brilliant. The Fenix HM65R. Full specs and links to purchase are in the description. They're not affiliate links, I don't get anything for it. Did get the torch. It's honest though, this is absolutely cracking. Folks, I've got the head torch on, I mentioned, on the lowest setting, on spotlight mode. This one. This lasts for 12.5 days on a full charge. You know, I think that is absolutely ridiculous. 12.5 days on that. Now for me, this brightness setting, which is the lowest on spotlight mode, that is ample. What can't you do with this level of brightness around camp? And 12.5 days, it's immense. Really fantastic. Spotlight, lowest level. There's 4 of them. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different brightness levels on spotlight. Goes all the way up to 1000 lumens there. Just drop it down again, turn it off, and it will remember the last setting that you had it on. If you go into floodlight, there's only 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Every time you press it, it cycles between them all. It will remember the last setting that you had it on, and when you operate it, it will revert back to that. But I just think that is fantastic. 12.5 days. I know I keep repeating myself, but that's unbelievable. That is ample for me to operate around camp, to get where I need, to sit up and talk, and I could probably point that at myself, just film myself, and that would be absolutely fine.